everybody, today we're going to look at an 05 GT that's pretty awesome because it has our Vortech HO supercharger system. A couple cool things about this car I'm going to show you. We're going to make a dyno pull. We did put a built short block in this car. So if you haven't subscribed and notify, let's go check it out. All right, before we make the dyno pull, I'm going to tell you a little backstory in this car. I have Doug with me. We'll go down and check out the supercharger, but here's what we have going. So not everyone just comes in and gets the biggest engine and all the parts at one time. They do things in steps. And here's a prime example of an automatic 3-valve Mustang running 93 octane fuel that's doing things in steps. So it had our Vortech HO supercharger system on it. And then he came in and got our built short block, and not our big B326, but our 302. So it uses the factory aluminum block, but you get forged internal parts, which gives you some reliability and the ability down the road to get more aggressive with boosts, which we're not really doing yet on this car. So come down here, Doug, if you take a look at this. This is our HO Vortech supercharger system, but check this out. He had this thing hydro dipped in carbon fiber. So the supercharger is carbon fiber, hydro dip, the valve covers, the intercooler right here. It's a sweet setup, but this is basically our turnkey package. So when you watch all the 3-valve Mustang videos, you see all the stock cars running, maybe it's a non-intercooled Vortech or Paxton, HO Paxton. This is the HO Vortech, has our 39-pound fuel injectors. Normally you get a Kenny Bell boost pump. We did do a GT500 fuel system on this. Get the proper calibration, called our spark plugs. But we did drop from a Vortech, comes with a 3.6 pulley, which is about 11 pounds of boost. Running a 3.33 pulley, it's recording about 12.3 pounds of boost on 93 octane pump gas. Not a problem. So Doug, one more time, I want to come down here and look. So this is the 1200 supercharger. It's the Vortech. If you buy your non-HO Paxton, it's also a 1200 supercharger. This is not the Novi 2200. But this car does have free-flowing exhaust, as well as, like I said, the 500 fuel system and Detroit rocker camshafts. We're going to watch a dyno pull. It's going to make over 500 raw horsepower. And then the next step, you have a car like this. You're going to ask a question. Can I put this on my stock engine? I'll put a link to that video at the end. A lot of you may have seen it. What I think is too much torque on a stock engine. We're going to slightly go over with this setup by running a little bit more boost, but it does have a built short block. But we're talking factory heads, a very small Detroit rocker camshaft. We don't have big valve springs. No crazy cams on this. Just a sweet setup, a sweet ride running 93 octane. So check out this dyno pull. We're going to come back. We're going to look at the dyno graph, talk a little bit more about it. Okay, before we go look at the dyno numbers, there's two things I want to tell you. I mentioned what's the next step on this car. I also want to tell you a little bit about the V3 versus 1200 supercharger, what that means. You might be a little bit confused. So this sells a factory intake manifold and factory IMRCs. A really good way to add more power is a set of delete plates, or in my choice, a Ford Performance manifold and Ford Performance throttle body. You already have Detroit rocker cams, you have headers, you have the supercharger. That's my choice. But you could put on a little bit bigger throttle body, something like a BBK if you wanted to. It's a little bit less expensive. Some delete plates, pick a little bit more power up at higher RPM, a little bit more torque up at higher RPM. But as mentioned earlier, the 1200 supercharger. You know, this Vortech is called a V3. The Paxton is called a 1200. But just so you guys know, it's the same exact supercharger. So when you look at our non-intercooled Paxton Vortech packages, one's like a 1200, one's a V3, same supercharger, different housing, so they look a little different, different stamp on it, but the exact same thing. Now, when you go up to the HO kits, if you get the Vortech HO kit, it's still the V3, which is the smaller supercharger, same as the 1200, but you get the HO Paxton, that's a 2200. And that supercharger itself is bigger, way bigger power down the day. So, you know, you want to run more boost, you're gonna get crazy, maybe put a B326 in, the 2200 can support more power. But this supercharger right here does really, really well hold its own. Doug, let's look at the dyno graph. Watch your step on the straps right here. This came in 535 real horsepower. It mints it through the auto. 93 octane, dyno jet rated SAE, coming in right around 6,500 RPM. Torque 461 at 5,600. So again, 93 octane pump gas, not a crazy aggressive tune, just a really good tune on the car. They'll make good power, and the car will be really, really fun. So, you know, you remember way back, these cars make like stock automatic, 260 real horsepower, let's say. That right there is awesome. So remember, you can email quote@brenspeed.com, say, hey, what's this cost to get installed? Check that description, because I'm gonna put links to all the parts we talked about. So you don't have to call. You can just click on it and say, oh, that's how much a Supercharger is. Leave a comment, happy to answer. Don't forget, check out brenspeed.com. We ship these parts all over. Thanks for watching.